Hey, thanks for joining. You did it. Nice job. Introducing our project management trainer, speaker, author, and coach to thousands of professionals and organizations worldwide, including NASA, the U.S. Air Force, USACE, U.S. Army, the Department of Transportation, the FBI. Your friend, Phil. Over to you, Phil.
Hello. In this very quick video, we're going to take a look at knowledge areas, and I will teach you how to reconcile knowledge areas with Agile principles and values. We're going to start from the very first knowledge area and go all the way down, thinking in an Agile fashion. So let's talk about the very first one, integration management. What exactly is integration management? 3 things: combine, unify, coordinate. Combine, unify, coordinate. All of the moving parts of the project, all of the moving pieces. It is when every piece of the project is linked in a sensible and intentional fashion to keep the project streamlined, moving along in one cohesive whole. Now, in the world of predictive, you have often heard it being said that the project manager is solely responsible for integration. However, in the world of Agile, this role is changed. In the world of Agile, we do not see a central figure in a leadership role doing all of this combination, unification, and coordination. Instead, we see the team doing this. So when you think about integration, it is important that you think of value number 1 in the Agile Manifesto: individuals and interactions over processes and tools, because it is through the interactions of these people on the project that you will keep the project moving along in one cohesive whole. So someone says, what framework can I use as an example of this? Well, just take a look at the Scrum Framework. You take a look at the Scrum Framework and you see daily interactions in the daily Scrum, interactions at the retrospective, interactions at the sprint review, interactions in backlog refinement. And guess what is happening? In all of those ceremonies, there are elements that will help and facilitate better integration. So when you think about integration, don't think about a central figure anymore. Instead, think about the power of the team in an Agile setting. In addition to value number 1, I want to call your attention to value number 3, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Think about the interfaces in integration where there is customer collaboration, where there is stakeholder collaboration. In putting the project management plan together, that is collaboration. In identifying the lessons learned and the knowledge that can be reused, that is collaboration. In reviewing change requests with a change control board and, of course, getting stakeholders involved, that is collaboration. And you know what? This is all in integration. What about value number 4, responding to change over following a plan? Think about that for a second. Change management lives in integration. It is front and center of integration. So when we talk about responding to change, that is in and of itself integration, my friends. So when you look at these values, correlate value with knowledge area. It will go a long way to helping you cope with ambiguity on your PMP exam. And don't forget, in the 6th edition, there is a chapter and then a section of each chapter from 4 to 13 where we talk about, I call it the CTTCs, concepts, trends, tailoring, and consideration for Agile. So if you haven't been taking a look at your CTTCs, I want to encourage you, open up your PMBOK guide, take a look at the concepts, trends, tailoring, and consideration for Agile in the 6th edition. You won't find these, of course, in the most recent edition, but in the 6th edition, you can find it. And this should be a signal to you to take this book seriously. Don't look at the book as something that you're never going to use again. No, you could get a boatload of value from this 6th edition. You also find a similar dialogue in the Agile Practice Guide, pages 95, 94, 93, 92, 91. So take it seriously. But let's examine what exactly the PMI says in this section called CTTCs, Concepts, Trends, Tailoring, and Considerations for Agile. They just label it Considerations for Agile Adaptive Environments. And in integration, it makes it very clear that the iterative and agile approaches promote engagement of team members as local domain experts, not the project manager within integration. So, if you're reading the integration chapter, it tells you this is the one knowledge area that project managers cannot compromise. If you've paid close attention to it, you see them posing the project manager as someone who does the integration. In fact, if you read on page 72, it says project integration management is specific to project managers, whereas other knowledge areas may be managed by specialists, and then it cites cost, schedule, and risk as examples. But it says the accountability of project integration management cannot be delegated or transferred. The project manager is the one who combines the results in all of the other knowledge areas and has overall view of the project. The project manager is ultimately responsible for the project as a whole. But let's talk about the Agile environment. If we are talking about the Agile environment, we flip the switch. It changes. In Agile environments, the team, those are your local domain experts. So if you read in the PMBOK Guide, 6th edition, on page 74, it says, iterative and agile approaches promote the engagement of team members as local domain experts in integration management. The team members determine how plans and components should integrate. The expectations of the project manager, as noted in the key concepts for integration management, do not change in an adaptive environment, but control of the detailed product planning and delivery is delegated to the team. The project manager's focus is on building a collaborative, decision-making environment and ensuring the team has the ability to respond to changes. And that's the key. In integration, we want to set the team up for success, coordinate, unify, combine. And what you're doing is giving the team that power, that autonomy. You are enabling them to do that. And this collaborative approach can be further enhanced when team members possess a broad skill base. Talking about T-shaped skills, when you have a team that has T-shaped skills, paint, drip, broken comb, whatever you want to call it, rather than just a narrow specialization, you get the great payoff. Now, that's not all. In addition to the values, do you know that each one of the Agile Manifesto principles is actually fuel in some way for all of these knowledge areas? Let's talk about a few. And as I go through them, I want you to see these principles through an integration lens. Our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software, whether we deliver it in the closed project or phase transition, or if we deliver it well after, makes no difference. What am I saying? Whether you look at delivery as being closed project or phase, or you look at delivery outside of closed project or phase, the bottom line is that should be your highest priority as a person in integration, in Agile. Satisfy the customer. And then we talk about welcoming changing requirements even late in development. Agile processes harness change for the customer's competitive advantage. So right there in perform integrated change control, in the back of your mind, when you're taking a look at those change requests, you need to be thinking, the reason why we embrace change is for our customer's competitive advantage. Should we review the change request? Yes. What should our disposition be? We should have flexible contract arrangements to enable us to respond to what the customer really wants. Because if money is the question, then we are in the wrong place. We are not in an agile mindset. We are in a competitive mindset, which is not one of collaboration. But if we're in the right mindset, we would have a contract, an MSA, with tinier little flexible arrangements in place, and we would base our delivery on something more overarching. Take a look at page 77 in the Agile Practice Guide. Agile processes harness change. Agile contracts should harness change. Then we talk about deliver work in software frequently. Again, that's really close, project, or phase. Whatever the time scale, you better be delivering something that works to your customer's competitive advantage. Then we talk about business people and developers working together daily throughout the project. That is direct and manage project work in disguise. Because think about it. As you're getting the work done, you are in direct and managed project work. We talk about building projects around motivated individuals and giving them the environment and support they need. Let's talk about an environment of integration. An environment of integration is one that the team has what they need to collaborate, whether they're in person or virtually. So we need to create that environment because it will affect integration. The most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within a development team is face-to-face conversation. But where that does not exist, with an integration mindset, we need to get the team to optimum efficiency. We need to get them the tools. We need to get them the methods. We need to get them to synergize even virtually. And I'm stressing virtually because a lot of organizations have had to change their way of working. Lots of organizations are not going back in. So your mindset needs to be whatever I can do to get my team to effectively integrate, I need to do it. Work in software is a primary measure of progress. So if you're closing out a project or phase, let's check that delivery. Make sure it's actually exactly what the customer was thinking of when benefits and value are concerned. So you do know that in closed project or phase, the project charter is an input. You do know the business case and the benefits management plan are all inputs. You do know we do a regression analysis. Why do we do all these things? Because work in product is the primary measure of progress, but is that work in software given the value, the benefits? What is value? The net quantifiable benefits that a customer derives, that an end user derives. Where did we spell this out? In the project charter, in the benefits management plan, in the business case, are breadcrumbs and traces of all of this promised value. So it is important that as we close out the project or phase, we understand work in software is one, but value needs to be revalidated. So, talking about integration, we want to promote sustainable development. We got the right environment for integration. It is all the better because it will help us towards this constant pace. We also want to have a continuous attention to technical excellence and good design. Remember, in your direct and managed project work, this is where you're getting stuff done and you are not shirking from your attention to technical excellence and good design. You're also looking at doing what is essential, but nothing more. In other words, simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done, is essential. We also understand that the self-organizing team is autonomous. The self-organizing team is able to make decisions. The self-organizing team is able to call the shots on any user story, on any piece of the product backlog, any PBI. The team should be able to work with the product owner to understand what is required, and based on risk and value, the team works with the product owner to decide yay or nay. And once the product owner decides this is too little value for the risk, they could choose to move that right down to the bottom of the product backlog. And at regular intervals, the team reflects in a retrospective on how to become more effective and they tune and adjust their behavior accordingly. But this is not something that is a one and done. It is something that should happen sprint after sprint. And in the world of predictive and integration, we refer to this as managed project knowledge. But it's really code for retrospective. So when you look at the knowledge areas and you juxtapose the knowledge areas with the Agile Manifesto values and principles, you find that they are not at war with each other. Instead, there's a direct correlation. So for those of you getting ready for your exam, this is how to think hybridly. Very important that you think hybridly, not only for your exam, but across the board. And that is how you become an effective project manager. That is how the process of getting certified adds value to you long after the exam. Thank you for joining me in this discussion today. If you got any questions, send them on to the channel. Don't forget to share this with your friends. Don't forget, if you're getting ready for the exam and you need a dose of Agile, go to agileaficionado.com. Agile Aficionado is where we advertise the courses coming up. And if you want more information about other courses of a predictive nature, go on down to Praizion.com. That's Praizion.com. Stay agile.